From the rolling hills and the green acres of Shell Estates in Coweta, Oklahoma, it's the Shell Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Shell's Podcast, where I just basically ramble for a good 20-25 minutes, and then I leave you guys. And in these podcasts, I like to just talk and ask the questions that never get asked, and talk about the stuff that I don't think gets talked about enough. Today, I wanted to talk about ambition and how, at least for me personally, I use it as a way to cope with happiness, which is weird. It's really weird. And what I mean by that is, well, let me just give you guys some examples, right? You don't work out, and you aim for a goal in your workout regimen, right? Let's say you just started training, you want to get to 1 plate on your bench. You hit the 1 plate, but now 1 plate's not enough. So now you're aiming for 1.25 plates, and then you hit that. And then you aim for 2 plates, and you hit 2 plates, and that's not enough. So you aim for 2.25 plates, and you hit that, and that's not enough. So now you're at 3 plates, and it continues going on, and it continues moving forward that way. That's what I'm talking about. Why do people go through... I feel like it's a certain selected group that has to experience this, right? Because I've met people who have less drive than me and less care about the future, and they are happy, and it's like they're carefree. And that's something that's something I admire. The fact that someone can not worry about the future and yet still be happy with the present. I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to just sit on the sidelines and be happy with where I'm at. And it's a blessing and a curse, right? Like, for example, I started up an M1 finance account, right? And in that account, I had a goal of creating passive income out of my money, so that way I can find another form of income that I don't have to work for. So I can be in the Air Force doing my job and still have this other form of income supplying me with money, while I didn't have to work, and maybe even retire early. Who knows? And when I opened this account, I had $0 in it. I threw in the first 100, and it took me a long time to get to $1,000 in that account. And that was the goal. I just told myself, I just want to get to $1,000. If I can hit that, I'm going to be happy. And I hit 1,000, and I wasn't happy with it. I mean, I was for a few seconds or a few minutes, right? I bragged about it. I told people what I did. I was like, hey, look at me. I hit $1,000 in this. And then I asked myself, well, is this the best I can do? But it wasn't like I asked myself that question. It was more like the question just popped up. It was like my subconscious sat there and made me question the ability I had. And once I started doing this, I said, well, now I need to hit 2,000. If I can hit 2,000, that would be impressive. And you hit 2,000. And the same thing happens there. And then you transfer to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, and now I'm at $7,000 in my M1 finance account. And I'm telling myself I need to hit 10,000. And it's not ever enough, it seems like. I remember before I had a girlfriend, the only thing I wanted was to get with someone and be happy and have a relationship and work on that relationship. And I had a girlfriend, and I got one, and I liked her a lot, but it wasn't enough. I always felt like in the relationship, either her or I was not providing enough towards the relationship itself. I wanted things to be perfect. Yeah, I think I wanted things to be perfect, and I had problems with it because every moment I had with her, it was like there was always something that wasn't going right. Because I had an image in my head, and it wasn't matching the fantasy in my head. So therefore, I could do better and aim for better, right? So I would get mad very easily around her because it's like things kept coming up, and my thought process was she expects the best of me. She expects me to put in the utmost effort and make this the best that it can be, right? So because of that, I am now ruining this relationship by not providing her with the best experience I think I can provide. And then when she left, I got really sad. And I was like, well, now I need to go into the gym and focus on myself and try to, the regular old heartbreak thing that people do. And I said, well, I'm going to just get myself better looking. I'll make her jealous or something. That was the mindset. And I went into the gym and I just dove headfirst into it. And I started hitting new PRs like weekly almost. And every time I hit a PR, it was never enough. I wasn't even proud at this point. It was like I was at 275 on my squat, then 285 on my squat. And I was like, well, I can do better than 285. And I wasn't even happy about the 285. And then I hit 295, and I wasn't happy about it. Then the 305, and then the 315, and then the 325. It was just never enough. And the same with the deadlift. I got all the way up to 335, and I was still not happy with it. Not because those weren't impressive to me, but it was because the ambition I had going into it caused me to believe I can do better. So what I'm trying to say is there are two selected people in this world. There's the people with ambition, and there's the people without. When you look at people who have ambition, and I believe you look at them and you think, wow, he must really believe in himself, and he must have, a great mindset, and he's probably happy with the work that he's done in his life. And I don't think that's true. Well, let me backtrack that. You view those people with ambition, and you view those people who are driven to do the best that they can. And if you're not one of those people, or you're looking at someone who's better than you and you are one of those people with the ambition, you still view them and you think, wow, that's impressive. He's probably proud of that. But truth be told, I think everyone who has that form of ambition will never truly be happy because there's always more. There's always more that can be done. There's always a moment you can do where you can change something, right? Even the smallest of the smallest. Nothing will ever be perfect, and I think that's the problem with it, is when you have ambition, it's not that you're a perfectionist. It's that you think you can do better. And like I said, that's a blessing and a curse, because sitting there and telling yourself that you can do better and never being happy with what you've done will cause you to do better, right? If something eats at you for long enough, it either will win or you will do better. And if you have that ambition and drive to always strive for better, it's kind of like the perfect combo. You regret not giving it your best shot because you're a human being, And you have to be realistic with yourself and realize there's days and moments of weakness. And there's days where you don't do what you can do to your fullest ability. But being someone with such a drive and having so much ambition, you question if that's really something that's really something that will defeat you. Is having, moments of weakness. Is this really what I can do? Is this really the best I can do? I mean, and you start comparing yourself to other people too. I mean, look at him. Look what he's done. He's doing it. If he can do it, why can't I? That's a question I ask myself all the time is, well, if he was able to do it, what's stopping me? If he was able to bench 225 for 8 reps, what's stopping me? I can get there. If he was able to squat 405 for 5 reps, what's stopping me? I'll get there. But I don't know who that person is. I don't know the type of how long he's been training. I don't know how much work he's been putting into this. I don't know if he's on drugs or not. I don't know all of this stuff. I just see at face value what he's doing, and I compare where I'm at now to where he is at today, which is not what you should do. That's something I think anyone with ambition has to work on, or anyone in general, really. Don't compare yourself to others today. Compare yourself to yesterday. Are you better than you were yesterday? That's your competition, the person in the mirror. If the person in the mirror is better than the person who was yesterday, you're doing good. You're on the right path. If you're better than yourself yesterday, you're on the right path. But if you compare yourself to who someone is today, you're going to screw yourself over on the long term, because you don't know any of the deeper emotions and connections and drive or anything that has to do with him actually reaching the goal he is at. So, is ambition a good thing to have? Yes, ambition is a fantastic thing to have. It's 100% a fantastic thing to have. It gives people in this world the ability to strive for greatness and perfection. And maybe at some point it is reached. That's the goal. That's the end goal. It's to make everything in this person's life perfect and to just how he wants it. But I think the point of ambition and drive and all of that stuff isn't to do perfect. I don't think that's what it was given to us for, right? I don't think we came up with this emotion to do, perfect. I think we have that, mental game in our head, and we given people the feeling of ambition and drive and a good work ethic because of fear of having less resources. So I think that's when ambition came up, was, hey, we need more resources, we need more stuff. We need to be able to do more with what we have. So we need to somehow give ourselves a deeper drive to do so. Well, how can you do that? You can give someone ambition and drive and make them strive for it. Like put in their back of their fucking mind that that's the goal. And then there's the other people who don't have that type of mindset. They're just in the present, and I admire that. I really do, because I can't remember like the last time I was happy about where I was. I don't think I've ever been happy with where I'm at. And that's, even when I know that I'm proud of where I'm at, I'm not happy with it. I've never been happy with it. There's always more. There's always more stuff you can do. There's more stuff you can aim for. There's more stuff you can achieve, right? And because of that, I've never been happy with where I'm at. And I wonder if this is normal for people. Like, is this a normal thing? Is this something a lot of people experience? Is this something a few people experience? Or is this something I'm almost alone with? I mean, think about it. We have people whose job it is, I don't fucking know, to garden, right? To garden. To me, gardening is not what I want to do with my life. I feel I would not be a good person to be put into that situation, because there'd be so much, like, I would question my value. And I would sit there and tell myself that if I stay here, I'm wasting my life. But then there are other people who have a great love for gardening, and that's what they want to do. And they're happy. They're fucking happy with themselves. Like, why? That makes me question stuff. Is if someone's able to be happy working in a garden while another person can be striving to get to that $1 million point, and he's almost there and he hits it and he's still not happy, so now he's aiming for 2 mil, and then he gets to $1 billion and he's like, well, this isn't enough, right? How can two human beings, be in such completely different, like, situations, and at face value you would say the billionaire is happier, but it's actually the gardener? He loves life. He's happy with where he's at. He's not questioning stuff. He's not looking to strive for, like, he's just happy with planting flowers. And then there's the other person who can buy acres and acres of garden. And if he wanted to, he could fucking go there, plant hundreds of flowers. He could. And he could do that for the rest of his life, and his kids could do it, and his great grandkids could fucking do it. I mean, this man has given his family the ability to retire for generations. He has $1 billion fucking dollars. And he's not happy with it. Why? Why would that man not be happy? Is it because of the ambition, and is it because he sits there and he tells himself that, or is it a fear of loss? I mean, I think anyone who gets to that position of having to work and gets to a point where he has that much resources, it has to be because of something deeper down than just the like for money. It has to be something more like the fear of not enough. You have to have like a deep fear of not having enough, and you have to worry about what you're gonna do. So that's why you keep getting all of this money, and you keep hoarding it and using it and putting it into opportunities. And you get to a certain point, right, where it's just like going from being having $10 million to $15 million. There's not much that changes. Or being like a billionaire to having $1 billion to $2 billion. You doubled your net worth, but does anything really change? Or having $1,000 and going to $2,000. I mean, there's not a difference. There's not. So why is it that the billionaire isn't happy with having the $1 billion and he thinks he needs more? Why does he have the ambition and drive to aim for more? And why is the gardener happier than the man with $1 billion? The gardener is happier than the person with the $1 billion because the gardener is in the present. The gardener is sitting there, not worrying about tomorrow, not worrying about yesterday. He's enjoying the planting of the flowers. He enjoys it, and he's in the present. While the billionaire is worried about how the seed would grow and what the seed can grow into, and he's worried about the type of soil we use with the seed. And the billionaire is sitting there questioning all of the resources and everything around the seed, and he's worried about tomorrow's weather, and he's worried about, well, what if the weather snows? How am I going to solve the snow? That's what the billionaire is worried about. And we need both people, because we need one person to plant the seed, and we need another person to make sure the seed grows. So the person with the ambition and the drive is the person who's going to make sure it happens, while the person who's planting the flower is the person who's going to do it. No, the billionaire is the person who shows us the best way to grow it, and the gardener is the person who's going to do it. The gardener is going to plant the seed, and he's going to grow the crop. And the billionaire, the person with the ambition, is going to sit there and question everything around the seed and the planting. He's going to look outside the box. That's why they're both in society, is because we need one person to question the outside of the box and to look around it and to make the situation better for us. And we need another person who's not going to sit there and worry and spend all his time questioning the seed or the stuff in the seed. He's just going to fucking plant the seed. The billionaire will change out the soil, make sure the soil's right and fertile, and we have good we have good water, we have enough fertilizer, we have everything we need for the freaking seed. And the gardener is going to be the person who just fucking goes out there and plants it. That's why we have two fucking different types of people. The billionaire isn't happy because his mindset is built in a way to worry and fear about the worst, and he has to aim for the best to make sure that doesn't happen. You sit there and you question everything to strive for excellence. And the gardener's happy because he doesn't have to worry about tomorrow or what's going to happen. He just needs to sit there and fucking worry about one thing: putting the seed in the dirt. That's it. And yes, the billionaire will become better and smarter, maybe even worth more, right? But truth be told, I think everyone wants to be the gardener in reality. It doesn't matter how much you fucking have if you're not happy. That's something I need to work on in my life. I have a lot of drive and a lot of passion and a good, strong work ethic. But I'm not ever happy. Nothing is enough. And until I can find a way to make what I have enough, but continue moving forward, I will always be sad and upset with where I'm at. And I will never be able to sit there and tell myself that you've done good, you've done enough, and you should get to sit down and be happy. It's when I sit down and I just watch some YouTube or Netflix, I'm never happy with it. I question, like, I sit there and I ask myself, like, is there something else I could be doing right now? I mean, is this really what I need to be doing with my time? Fucking watching this, talking to her, and hanging out with him. Should I really be eating this? Like, did I do enough to actually get to sit down and eat this hamburger? I mean, fuck, what the hell? This isn't good for me, and I know it. So why am I eating it? That's the thing. Like, it's good to aim for the best. And it's good to want to be the best of the best, right? You want to be great. You want to be the greatest there's ever been. I used to tell myself that I would be okay with living the worst and most miserable life as long as the legacy I left behind was worthy of something. But now, as I think about it, that's not what life is. You don't live your life to fucking leave something behind. You live your life to the fullest of your ability, and you should do that with happiness. You should enjoy the life you have. There should be times in your life where it's okay to eat the hamburger. It's okay to watch that show. Don't do it all the time, because you still need to be the billionaire and have the goals and the ambition and the drive. But you need to apply the gardener's mindset to your situation, so that way when you do have a reality check, it doesn't tear you down, but instead it helps you be present in the moment and to be happy. Thank you for listening to the Shells Podcast.